So as I'm meal prepping this week, I decided to go a little Italian again. I have become obsessed with the eggplant lasagna simply because it tastes so amazing and it's very flavorful, but it doesn't, you don't have to worry about the carbs. So, and it's pretty filling. So why not try it? So I've been making this, and there are certain recipes that indicate that you should previously cooked the eggplant. You actually just brush a little bit of olive oil and then you put it in the oven for like 20 minutes on on something flat. It can be a pan or whatever, or just one of these baking pans. So I don't know if you want to use that with a little bit of aluminum foil, and then you brush the oil on top. You put it for 20 minutes, and then you wait until it actually um, gets cold. But I feel that that's too much work. So what I did was I did it my way. I tend to do that. So I tried to make the lasagna, and it's actually pretty tasty. The way with the little trick that I'm going to share. So what did I do? If you have a slicer, you can slice the eggplant. So I actually don't need a slicer. I actually cut it myself like this. So that's less than half of an inch, I think. Um, I don't put them too thick or too thin because then they will break. So what I do is I use, I mix extra virgin olive oil with fresh garlic. I mince the garlic, and then I add herbs de Provence, which is this. This is pretty flavorful. That's why I choose it over Italian seasoning because, like I said, it has more herbs, so it tastes better. So I mix it up like this. In the here, there's just a little bit left because I already put the mostly everything together in the lasagna. So I mix it up like this. You let it sit for like a few minutes, just for the garlic to just sit. How much is the quantity? It depends on how much lasagna you're making. I'm making just this pan. It's not as big because it's for me. So I use the medium baking pan, and I do 2 layers of the eggplant. But if you want to do 3, that's up to you. How much meat do I use? I cook 1 pound of ground meat. It can be turkey, it can be chicken, or it can be lean beef. The one I chose this week was extra lean beef, which is 96% fat free. This is no fat whatsoever. So I chose the red meat beef, by the way, this week, and that's why I'm having. So I mix it up, I cook it, and then I add the marinara sauce. Trader Joe sells this, which is it has no salt, and I also recommend this one, organic marinara sauce. The difference between them, one has salt and the other one doesn't, but the level of it has a little more sugar since it doesn't have salt. So it's whatever floats your boat, honestly. So if you want to choose either or, they pretty good choices. I use my Food UK application to make sure that they are really good for me. So that's why I chose them. So like I said, you just brush, like I said, you brush the the oil with the garlic and the herbs on the eggplant. Pretty easy. And then you just place it, just like lasagna. You place it there. Okay. The reason why I added the garlic is to add more flavor. Since I don't use that much salt. I keep my salt levels lower, since we already know that using a lot of salt tends to give you a lot of, it's just not healthy. But mainly because it's retain more water when you eat a lot of condiments. So that's why I try to keep it the way I do. Healthy and low in salt, but flavorful. That doesn't mean that this is not going to be as flavorful. Yes, it is. So then you add the layer. I put the layer of eggplant in the bottom. I make sure that I brush all the oil with garlic in the pan first so it won't stick. Then I add the layer of eggplants. Then I brush each layer with the mixture of oil, garlic, and herbs. And then I do a layer of meat, just like a regular lasagna, and then a layer of cheese. I actually don't eat dairy like that. This is an exception, one of those weeks that will make an exception. Why? I don't eat it. Simply because for me, I have noticed that I get better results. I've shed more fat out of my body and gotten better results by eliminating dairy out of my diet. So and honestly, I don't miss it. Um, I don't add too much um, cheese to my lasagna either way. I do add, but just a little bit. But if you want to make it extra cheesy, that's completely fine. Everybody's different. For me, I try to keep it on the low. And that's it. So I do a layer of meat and then the cheese on top. Then I add, as a final touch, on top of the cheese, I add and I sprinkle the herbs on top just to give extra flavor. You can also sprinkle parsley fresh or the one that's like that, dried. That's completely fine. So whatever floats your boat is whatever you have to do. So this is I'm done with this, and I'm gonna share with you the before and after when I make it. My choice of cheese is low fat mozzarella cheese. Some of them is low moisture, low fat. It depends on your choices. Always keep it on the low part. Like, look into that, because cheese tends to have a lot of fat. So I don't have that much cheese on mine. Like I said, I just add some of it, and it will melt anyway and do its job. So that's pretty much it. And I'm going to share with you the final result. I'm putting this without no aluminum foil, just there for 350 degrees for around half an hour. And then I will check it to see if the eggplant is well cooked. If not, then I put it for at least 15 to 20 minutes more, and then I'll be really sure that it's going to be cooked all the way through. But whatever it is that you have at home, you use it on your own benefit. So I see you when this is done. Here is the final result, like I promised, of the lasagna. So if you can see it, it's a little burnt, but don't worry. It has nothing to do with the goodness that's happening in here. So I added not so much cheese to it. Like I said, I'm very consuming very little dairy or none, but for this one I add a little bit. But if you want to make it with more, that's completely fine. It's up to you. I just wanted to share the final product, and I hope you guys can use this recipe and do it for any time. Actually, I'm even thinking about doing one of these for Thanksgiving. Simply, instead of putting the pasta, you substitute it for the eggplant. It's something that tastes amazing once it's all well cooked. And why not a little healthier option? So if you think this is helpful, go ahead and take advantage of my recipe, and I hope you enjoy it, and I would love to hear feedback once you do it. Okay? Thank you.